Why are you looking at pictures of me stuck in the mud in my Bronco back in 1986 outside of Millington, Tennessee? And by the way, that was the last time that I could get that truck started. If you look how deep the mud was, the only way I got out of there was with a tow truck that came in the middle of the woods. But I loved this truck. This was an awesome Bronco. So welcome to another episode of Junkyards and Barn Finds with Sean, and I'm Sean. I've had a couple other 4x4s, but this was my favorite, and it had a body kit on it, it had a full roll cage on it, and a 302. So why are we looking at this? Well, today we're going to look at three awesome first generation Broncos. And we're going to look at this one, a yellow one that I saw up at the racetrack at Sebring a couple months ago. We're going to look at a black one, which was at a car show down in Naples, Florida. And we're going to look at this one, which was at the Sam Galloway Ford dealership in Fort Myers, Florida. They have a first generation 71 Bronco. All right, guys, so this is a 1971 Bronco, and it is from the Sam Galloway collection. They have a collection, private collection. It's not in public, it's in a warehouse, but they bring cars out. As you can see, they've got Model T Roadsters. They have been a Ford dealership forever down here in Fort Myers. This is 115 years old for the 1906, and this one here is a 1928 Woody. They'll come in and bring different vehicles in, you know, that are interest of people to their dealership. And it just so happens that they have a 1971 Ford. Other than the tint on the windows and the wheels, this is a stock vehicle. So we're going to take a look at this one. We've already done, found the yellow one, which was up in Sebring at the racetrack. And then of course the black one that we shot down in Naples, and we went through, and that had the body kit and everything on it. So this one is totally stock. So we'll go around here. So this has a V8 302, 205 horsepower, which in 71 the 302 came in Mustangs and everything else as well. So now there's a couple different types of these first generation Broncos. Some have, this has the single coilover and the single strut. Some have a double strut in the front, and they'll have double struts in the back as well. I don't know what this has. Let's take a quick look. So this has a single strut here. Some of them will have a double strut, a strut that comes from the back, from there, and from here. This has the single strut. And of course it has the locking hubs right here that come out through the rims. All right, guys, so I got the keys to it, so I'm going to open up. We're going to look at the inside of it. So 50. Okay. So we're going to go over here. So you can see the tops on these things, they open up, they come off, and that was really the reason that these were popular, is because you could take the roofs off and just drive them without a roof. So we do have the key, so let's open this up, and we're going to film the inside. If this is the key, that is not. Sometimes they go in upside down. The old, yep, not that one. So it's there we go. So it's unlocked. So you can tell, there's says Bronco here. The really cool thing with the floorboards on this one are just that they're up on a riser. Most of them aren't carpeted. This has a Bronco steering wheel on it. This is pretty much the only gauge that came with most of these right here. So this has the roll cage. Almost all of them came with a roll cage that would start back here. This one's been extended, but a lot of them would come with the roll cage in the back. That was pretty stock. The center console's not stock, but if you look at the back seat, so that small back seat has the armrest that came with it. This has vinyl in the back. Some had vinyl, some did not. They said the roof can be removed, and it has the dual handles. There's your vent right there. Your stick shift is right here. Pedals down here. This has air conditioning. It looks like it has air conditioning, but actually they may just be the heater vents, to be honest with you. These two bolts right here, that one and that one, they allow the windshield to come down. So you could take the windshields off of it. Well, you let them on a hinge, they would fold down like the Jeeps did, at least mine did, and that's what those are for. So this is an automatic. It's very original. Seats are real small. You can see sometimes the seats in the back, they'll have the back of the seat could be a hard. Mine was a hard plastic. These are the vinyl seats. These are vinyl on the back and the front. This is a hinge holder right here, so so that the doors, when you open them up, you could just pull them with this. I had that in my car. Of course, here's the door panels. They have the release mechanism is right there. You've got a nice little wood grain here. This little insert, which is the same fabric as here, and a door sill. So it is just a really nice, and you can see there's not a lot of room in these. They weren't real made. You could either put people or stuff in the back. And over there you can see there's your glove compartment. You have a dash pad on here that's black, and you have the little square area that the steering column goes in is black. And of course, like I said, this is an aftermarket steering wheel as well, but whoever did this has Bronco put in there. So it's a really, really beautiful truck on the inside. Let's close it and go ahead and lock it again. No, it's not closed. Let me close it again. There we go. Now it's closed. And we're going to go ahead and lock this up. There we go. And for those of you who are young, keys don't always go in this way. Most car keys would go in upside down, which is kind of strange. All right, so let's crawl under. Oh. And like I said, you can see it's a single shock front. There's your transfer case. It's a 302 with, it's got, this has a aftermarket exhaust on it. However, it's run the same way it normally would. There's not a Y pipe with this one because you have your transfer case here, front drive shaft, rear drive shaft, and you can see the body mounts on this. So the body's only mounted with 4 or 5 bolts on here. There's one there, one here, and I think there's 2 in the back, so actually 6 bolts. And the leaf springs, there's not a lot. Like I said, there's normally in some of these they'll have 2 rear shocks on it per side. This has a single rear shock per side. This has drum brakes in the back. It has the disc brake on the front, even though you would have drum brakes with this, has actually had a kit or something done. So yeah, there's a little bit that has been done to this truck, obviously. A little bit of a lift on it, but as you can see, it's still, everything under here is just really clean. You can see all the parts, you can see everything about this truck, how the brake lines are run. It's a full frame truck. You can actually take the body off of this, replace it with another body fairly easily, and it only has the single shock up the front, shock tower. You can put dual shocks on these. Some came from the factory with dual shocks. How do I know all this stuff? I don't know. It's just stuff that I knew, probably from when I owned mine. But the body kits are real popular, so finding these that have the original bodies on them is really, really rare, because a lot of people, they took the fenders off it, they put the fiberglass kit on, like the pictures of mine, they're all fiberglass kit bodies. So anyway, but it is just a really, really gorgeous truck. Like I said, unfortunately, we're not going to open up the engine compartment. It is what it is. Sometimes we can do it, sometimes we can't, and today we just can't. But if you like this kind of thing, please subscribe. Please hit the bell. If you want to see this, it's over at, like I said, Sam Galloway Ford. Now, Sam Galloway Ford in Fort Myers was friends with Thomas Edison and Henry Ford, and Henry Ford's house is right down the street. They're his winter home, and it's right next to Thomas Edison's winter home, and there's a really cool museum there if you want to go and see that. If you ever get to Fort Myers, the Henry Ford and Thomas Edison homes, they're all turned into museums with their shops and everything, and it's really cool. Maybe I'll take a ride down there and do a video on that. But Sam Galloway, they've been here, I think they were like one of the first Ford dealerships. And so they have a whole collection. As I did, I showed you a little bit of their collection here, and they're always bringing classic cars out that they've had. I think they just keep them in their collection. So anyway, thank you guys, and enjoy. And let's go take a look at the black one and the yellow one. And this isn't the one that you can buy in the shop. So this is, I think it's a 74. I had a 74. This has a 347 cubic inch high performance engine in it from Ford Racing, and it's got, I think that's the electric brake system that they look like they put in an electric one, and they've got a whole new interior into this, so new gauges. It's a really, really beautiful. You'll notice that there's some music over here that sometimes we have to go to music. It's because there's a guy here that's playing a ton of loud music. Some original, some not. So that's a beautiful, beautiful truck right there. I know what's going to happen is everybody's going to see this and they're going to say, why didn't I go over and talk to the guy in the classic Bronco? Because they're all going to ask me about it, because it's Junkyards and Barn Finds.
Yes, sir.
And I actually had one of these. I left it in the Memphis River outside of Millington, Tennessee, when I blew the motor.
Left it there.
It was this deep in mud.
Oh.
And the only way to get out was a half track that was going to cost me $1,500 for a truck I paid $500 for. So I put the title in it and swam to my friend's truck. And for all I know, it's still there. But so my name's Sean. If you don't mind, can I ask you some stuff here real quick? So 74, 73? 73.
Yes, sir.
Body kit on it, or is it all original?
So
it's metal?
Yep.
So, and what's on it? What do you have under hood? Anything particular? Is it pretty?
302 with an intake and a header.
Okay.
And it's got a little bit different cam in it, but everything else is fine.
How long have you had it for?
I've had it since 06.
So you've had it before they decided to come out with the new one that looks like the old one that just made these worth a whole ton of money?
Yeah, my dad had one of them that was almost identical to this, and then we bought this one in 05, and it took 10 years to restore it, which it really took about a year and a half, with about 5 years of it just sitting in the garage, but couldn't find a good body shop.
Is it the original color, or is this?
No, it was red originally.
Okay.
But we pulled it all apart and had it all painted up and fixed up.
So yeah, well, like I said, I have to ask, because
yes, sir. Absolutely.
It pretty much stands out a little bit.
A little bit.
What, you guys got a car here?
No, sir. Not today. We're with them.
Okay, so you just coming to support?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it. My name's Sean.
Yeah, man. Good to meet you.
You too. So I used to race here, but then I got in a wreck and I Ricky Bobbied my leg. I can't feel my left leg anymore.
Oh man, that ain't good.
Yeah.
I can appreciate the wadding it up. I've only got
here. Can you drive around this outside or no?
Yeah.
Thanks.
No problem, boss.
April, should they subscribe to this channel even if they don't like cars today for this one?
Probably just for this one.